Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Bill Green from BirchStreet, and I'll be your moderator. First, I'll give you a quick introduction to BirchStreet for those of you who don't know us well. BirchStreet is the leading cloud-based procure-to-pay automation platform for the hospitality industry with over 15,000 contracted customers worldwide who process over $15 billion in spend annually. We automate all purchasing-related activities from suppliers to purchase orders, approvals, receiving, tracking, and budgeting, as well as can assist with AP automation, inventory control, recipe management, capital projects, and lastly, have the reporting and business intelligence dashboards to complement these modules. Today we are going to look at HHM's, formerly known as Hersha Hospitality Management, actual account of implementing BirchStreet's Procure-to-Pay platform. Let me start by introducing our two rockstar guest speakers, Joseph Clam and Bobby Carey from HHM. Joseph Clam is HHM's Executive Vice President of Financial Services with an extensive background in international finance, accounting, operations, and acquisition management. He joined HHM at the beginning of 2016 and oversees all financial operations of the portfolio with top-line revenues over $1 billion. He previously has worked for 60 hotels, Interstate, Millennium, Wyndham, and Marriott, in addition to speaking 4 languages, and is active in several professional hospitality organizations. Next, Bobby Carey is HHM's Director of Purchasing Systems and has grown with HHM since 2009, starting as an Assistant General Manager at an extended stay hotel. She was then promoted to GM and then quickly moved to Area General Manager before starting her current role. She's had a great career in restaurants and hotels with Darden Restaurants, Marriott, Starwood, and Interstate, holding positions in F&B operations, hotel operations, training, and HR. She's had the privilege of watching HHM grow and be offered the opportunity to grow with them, especially as part of the team to implement BirchStreet. And now, I'll pass it off to Joseph.
Thanks, Bill. To give you a little background on HHM, we have 114 properties throughout the U.S. that are made up of mix of lifestyle, full-service, and select-service hotels, which are both independent and large brand hotels. As you can imagine, we have a large amount of spend and purchases between all of our hotels that we manage, which is a challenge at times. When I came on board, most of the processes were manual. When it came to purchasing, our hotels were using phone, fax, and email for ordering. Difficult to track accurately against budget and forecast. Secondly, there is no clear process for submitting invoices or collecting invoices. Some properties would mail, while others would fax or email them to our centralized shop in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. This resulted in high rate of lost invoices and compliance issues. So the first thing I did when I joined HHM last year, we had already bought and contracted to implement a system, and as we were designing and implementing the system, we had decided to shut it down. And the reason was the difficulties that the system had presented to our operation. So we went back to look at BirchStreet, which had experience in proven leadership and provided the right functionality. Now, BirchStreet and I go back many years, and I knew that by selecting BirchStreet, I would be selecting the right company that would definitely help me out. I knew I could count, they could integrate into our ERP system, value security, and were cloud-based, so we could access one centralized system from corporate or any of our properties. Most importantly, the functionality was there for our business needs and processes. For any of you that have implemented any type of system or software, the project can be daunting, especially with over 100 properties. We had a fast rollout frame of 90 days, which was kicked off by Summit. At the Summit, we had all the key roles involved from both our companies. And from HHM's side, we include the operations, finance, purchasing, and IT. And from BirchStreet, we had the executive sponsor, project manager, technical services team, and the sales exec who came to our offices for 3 days of meetings. As a group, we looked at our current state and future state goals and outlined our best practices and how those fit for HHM. We also discussed data collection, supplier adoption, and defined roles and responsibilities. We had about 100 suppliers that wanted adopted into the system, which meant the suppliers had to work with BirchStreet to upload their catalogs into our marketplace. We also talked about the integration plan into our existing systems as well as to BirchStreet strategic partners. This is a big one, as we needed all the systems to be talking to each other and exchanging data. The summit also touched on training, deployment, and post-go-live support to ensure success. For training, due to the large number of properties, we decided to have on-site training for our super users along with live webinar trainings for all properties. Now I'll turn it over to Bobby.
Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate you helping us with the key points of the implementation. And as we continue to learn and grow with BirchStreet, we look forward to our next goal, which is to increase our purchasing compliance from 70% to 80% with our Avendra programs. Avendra is North America's leading procurement services provider for the hospitality industry, and through them we typically save about 15% on our purchases along with other value-added services. They're able to give us a significant price reduction through their buying power. When we partnered with BirchStreet, which is integrated with Avendra, the system allowed us to have visibility into our spend and increase our compliance levels and reach our financial gains goals. With BirchStreet, we now have visibility into buying the right item at the right price from the right supplier. This will improve compliance for both our buyers as well as our suppliers. That being said, we've begun to see a shift of purchasing habits by limiting exposure to the right suppliers and items and being able to flag those items. That change gives us an additional savings of about 15% off all the items that are now being purchased on contract versus paying street price. With simply looking at our planned savings for e-procurement and buying more through our Avendra programs, we will achieve ROI in 6 to 9 months, which will impact our bottom line by approximately 2.5%. As noted before, this will increase over time as we ramp up both compliance, efficiency, and accounts payable savings. Now let's take a look at how our accounts payable and e-invoicing programs will benefit us now and in the long term. As part of our long-term savings strategy, we want to eliminate and reduce some of the additional labor that we have. Today we have approximately 13 AP staff associates that spend about 85% of their time handling about 15,000 invoices and processing them each month. When we look at staff salaries and the time it takes, our invoice cost is about $3.76 per invoice. We knew that much of this process could be automated, and this will soon factor into our cost savings. We implemented bank text, OCR, and e-invoicing services to make all invoices digital. They use a scanning technology which extracts certain fields into actionable data. We've already brought levels of errors, or exceptions as we call them, from 80% to about 29%. And we expect this to continue to decrease after the machine learning improves. Once our system is fully running, we can reallocate resources, improve our touchless rate, and drive further efficiency. In fact, we think we can save over 60% on our current invoice costs. Another cost savings measure we added was integrating to CSI Global V-Card's virtual payment processing with virtual cards. The way this works is that after the invoices go through the three-way matching system in BirchStreet, the approved invoices are batched to CSI for payment and integrated into Solomon, our ERP system, for automated reconciliation. The approved payment file is uploaded into CSI for disbursement to our vendors via virtual card, Global V-Card, Network ACH, check, or FX. Each month, we will start to see rebates from our transactions, which will increase efficiency and give us additional savings, as well as reduce the likelihood of fraud. And this will be great for our suppliers to get payments faster, too. To summarize, BirchStreet has created one centralized online marketplace with workflow and approval processes with tracking for all purchase orders and invoices with new processes. This has allowed us to gain the right exposure to the right suppliers and items at the right price. This will continue to boost our compliance rate and profitability. And additionally, our new processes will help us to decrease invoice processing costs and AP labor costs, impacting our bottom line. And as all hospitality organizations want to achieve, if we streamlined our operations, we'll grow our bottom line, which will improve our guest experience. As we all know, our guests drive our business. Now I'll turn it back over to Bill, who will dive into sharing more P2P best practices.
Thank you, Bobby. So as you can see, HHM is already achieving some great savings and benefits. In addition to e-procurement, AP automation, and e-invoicing, BirchStreet has several other tools that can further help with savings and efficiencies. Our inventory system saves a tremendous amount of time and connects directly to the items that you purchase. Our customers have the ability to easily take inventory with mobile scanners, create planned purchases to replenish storerooms, set par levels and variance alerts, run consumption reports, and much more. Our recipe management system stores all of your recipes in one centralized place, and when tied to your POS system, you can easily manage real-time food costs and margins for each item and dish, as well as the system will calculate all nutrition allergen information, so you can share this information with your guest. Now we'll take a quick look at our dashboards that gives customers further insight and business intelligence, which is another area that HHM is looking to further improve their ROI. Let's jump into our executive dashboard platform. There are two main components to our executive dashboards. First, the spend visibility dashboard provides insight with drill-down capabilities into your spend categories and types. And the second, compliance dashboards, make sure you are buying the right item at the right price from the right supplier. Both of these dashboards are tools designed to help drive more savings. To give you a quick overview on our spend visibility tool, the system shows spend category amounts and percentages to better evaluate suppliers, price breaks, incentives, discounts, and more. In this case, on the screen right now, it's showing beer spend, broken down by category type, draft, can, and bottle. There can be categories for produce, meat, fish, office supplies, or really anything that makes sense for your business. From this data, you can gather insight into your spend categories to make better business decisions, especially with the drill down tools. In fact, when you drill down into product or service category data, it has accurate spend numbers because it's tied to purchase orders and invoices. For example, you can then take this information to work out better pricing with your suppliers based off your purchasing history. The next dashboard, our compliance dashboard, shows compliance levels by property and even by user or manager for a given time frame. We saw how earlier, with HHM's goal of moving from 70% to 80% compliance, moving even 10% will help generate great savings. A few really great features of our compliance dashboards are that they are color-coded, red, yellow, and green, to easily see which locations are in compliance, as well as will show the top 3 non-compliant products at each location, so you can work with the property or specific user to fix future purchasing activities and ensure better compliance. From experience, we see many of our customers average at about a 40% compliance level before using BirchStreet for contracted spend. But through the use of our solution and using these two dashboards, our customers have reported to achieve over 90% compliance by being able to better monitor their spend. If you are excited about the possibility of driving compliance and gaining insight into your company's spend like HHM, we're here to help. BirchStreet's Procure-to-Pay platform has many benefits and cost-saving measures to help with your purchasing activities. Our team can look at what your expected results should be based on your current state and where you want to go to help you build the business case. So that concludes our presentation today. So again, I would like to thank you for your time. It was just a short session today, but we're happy to get back to you if you have any questions. You can email us at sales@birchstreet.net, and we can work with HHM on getting any questions answered as well that may be for them. So again, this concludes our presentation. Thank you for taking the time to join us today, and I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon.